I have 30 minutes, and one of the things I said, what can I do within the short time? But I'll anchor my message from a story, and I'll bring out everything I think, most of the things you need to know. But before I do that, I want to thank my friends, some of whom were my secondary school classmates. They are here. My friends Udwa Kibeka, Odo Fashola, and of course my university classmate and sister, Sarah. See my Malabresis from the University of Calabar. And they are here to support me. I didn't know, I'm still having a book launch in Cross River State, Nigeria, but Abuja is the place because Mr. Femi Jubal has given us some of us impetus. You know, it's one thing to have resource. If you want to cook egusi soup, you won't buy afan leaves. You need to bring the specific condiments for egusi. And so with the help of his mentorship and tutelage, I've been able to put together the resource that I think would serve this generation in a particular direction, which is in the area of holistic development for children. Now, my message is very simple. I believe that we can raise well-rounded children to become high-value individuals in society. Now, I want to walk you through something. I brought my daughters, 4 of them. Can you imagine my life in my older years if I have 4 irresponsible daughters? Can you imagine it? Is it a life you will enjoy? That is why anybody who, you see, everything we are learning is in adulthood, but the work is simple when you start from childhood. Childhood is temporary, but the consequences and the effects are eternal. It says, show me the child when he's 7 and I'll tell you the man. Now, let me take you to the story. I have 30 minutes. Some of us have Christian background. My friend is a Christian mother in the Catholic Church. All of us are conversant. You know, my message and my book is not religious, but religion is powerful. So we'll pick, if I have a citation from the Quran, I'll pick. Now, the story of John the Baptist. How did John the Baptist die? Salome, the daughter of Herodias, said, give me the head of the Baptist on a platter. Now, let me give you the scoop of this. People have been hearing this story. John the Baptist, they cut his head. We've heard it. Let me bring out a couple of things. They said that Salome danced and she pleased the king on his birthday before his guests, other kings. And in the excitement, the king said, anything you want, including half of my kingdom, I will give to you. Are we together? Salome ignored half of a kingdom, ignored the possibility of being one of the most powerful women and daughters, and went for the head of the Baptist. Why? It says that when the king told Salome, what do you want? Salome did not say. She went to who? Her mother. And she said to her mother, what shall I ask of? And the mother said, ask of the head of the Baptist. I'm trying to bring out parental influence. I'm going somewhere. And Salome asked, who was John the Baptist? She didn't just kill a normal, she didn't just ask for the head of a normal person. No. John the Baptist was the forerunner of the biblical Jesus, the Messiah according to Christendom. A kinsman with Jesus. A man who we know, by all standards, a celebrity and a prophet. How did he die? One child that doesn't have common sense asked for the head of the Baptist and couldn't even question her mother's decision. For Salome to have asked for the head of the Baptist, to have done that dance, it means that Salome was not a small girl per se. She wasn't like my daughter. Now I asked a question. In my older years, I've always heard this story. I asked a question in my older years. I said, so what kind of dance is this in the whole of this world that a king can say, I will give you half of my kingdom and end up giving the head of a man? Now, for Christians, I don't think that the Bible explained it. But in art and literature, we get to find out that is the dance of the 7 veils. What is the dance of the 7 veils? It is a striptease dance where the veils are removed and you can see the body of the woman. Now, this story I'm telling you is a story I've been working on for my new book. But there are too many dimensions, so I want to start from there. It says, when the Salome start dancing so much of all the dancers, that this her striptease dance could entice a king to give her the head of a man. The seat of consciousness, the seat of vision. One girl that danced for a couple of minutes, just talking to her mother, changed the whole trajectory. Did we hear of Salome after that? No. But maybe let's look at it like this. If Salome had gotten half of the kingdom, maybe we would have heard different things. There would have been different dimensions. Maybe that girl would be able to show her leadership prowess. Maybe she would be able to change the course of history. Just maybe. Why did the mother ask for the head of the Baptist? Because she married her late husband's brother. And John the Baptist was saying, this is unlawful. Did he do anything wrong? No. I'm only telling you the influence of a parent on the child. That was the birth and the origin of my book. I know that we look forward to a time when our children will go to school, but there is a place from before conception, right, to the time when the child is with you. It can determine everything about that child's life. But that is consequent on the fact that you as a parent is conscious of your parenting journey. That is why I stick with the fact that parenting is consciousness. Are we together? So when you have a child from infancy, then you go to early childhood, then you go to middle childhood, then you go to adolescence, and then they become every single season. It says the universal law of rhythm says everything is in circles and seasons. The tendency that you miss a season gives you more work with children. That's why I tell people, when you want to adopt, if you can adopt below 5, below 3, better for you. I had a personal experience. I've been working with vulnerable children. So there was this one that I really gravitated towards. But I took him for therapy. By the way, in Nigeria, we don't have a system that rehabilitates children. I mean, we are just surviving, you know. And I took that boy after rehabilitation. He's been exposed to all kinds of things. Brought him home, gave him bed. Fountain would come down from the bed and sleep on the floor. Because he was a street boy, that's what he knows. It's not because there was no bed. In the nights, Fountain would pee by the corner of the room when there was a bathroom. He doesn't know, because when he's sleeping on the road, he just pees inside the gutter. It was annoying, but was it the child's fault? That is the exposure he had from delivery onto his early. So he is as good as a savage. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And so, while childhood is a temporary phase in life, while childhood may be to a particular time temporary, but you're not just raising a child. You are raising the next president of a country. You are raising the next governor of a state. You are raising the next minister. You are raising the next husband or wife. Today, people are saying, husband is beating me, wife is beating me, men has come. They are products of a broken upbringing. Are you hearing me? They are products of broken and no upbringing at all. So you are not just raising your son, you are raising somebody's husband. So in doing that, do that with the consciousness that my son cannot raise his hand on a woman. Neither can my daughter say men has come or become irresponsible. Are we together? So while childhood is a window of somebody's entire life, you've heard of childhood trauma, right? While it is a window, it can impact grossly on a child. There's a chapter in my book that speaks of subliminal configurations. What are subliminal configurations? Subliminal configurations, they use it in advertising. But every time as a mother, I cry about how my husband treated me. So much so that my daughters hear me and I abuse their father. The father who is the first love of his daughter's life. In as much as he hurts me as the woman, my actions is subliminally configuring my daughter such that she's the kind of child that can say, men has come. I don't want to see what my mother saw in my father's hand. Oh. Because her father is supposed to be her king. You don't know that the father is the first love of the daughter's life. Yes, Sigmund Freud wrote it. He says Oedipus complex and Electra complex. You know. While we do that, while we subliminally configure our children, even by our behavior, even by the way we speak, even by the way we dress, even by the way we interact, and we think they don't know because they are children, you are subliminally configuring them. Now, subliminal configurations are a stimuli that is deposited below the threshold of consciousness. Below, it's like the pikin know they see, but they see. And what happens is that it impacts on behavior. Have you heard that saying? Say, an apple does not fall far from the tree. Today, before we came here for this event, I told my children, go and dress up. One of my daughters dressed the way I would naturally dress, and I was laughing. Just the same way. I said, okay, please, today, okay, it's my own day. Let me be in the spotlight. Step down. It's because she's my daughter. I didn't teach her that, but she sees it. Are we together? She sees it. So sometimes, even when they caution me as my children, I know that, yes, they are right, because that's who I am. Yes, they caution me. They say, Mommy, this, you're too loud. I say, okay, sorry. You know? So now, we have to, as parents, parenting is the easiest thing. Everybody is an eligible parent, so long as you're of childbearing age. So everybody has an idea what a child, do you know what I mean? But, who is producing the people who are a problem to society? Is it the spirit? Are we together? So we have all the resources and all the tools. Now, one of my driving forces is the fact that I believe we can raise well-rounded children to become high-value individuals. One of my latest topics to my children is that society has niches. Do you want to be at the bottom? You want to become a fashion designer. Do you want to design for the people you will sew for 2K, 3,000, you sew like 50? Or you want to come to civil servants, maybe director cadre, you sew for like 50,000. Or you want to sew for Dangote and Elumelu, and you sew one and you rest for 3 months. It's from childhood you begin to design that. You begin to, my daughter, tell me your niche from now. Do you understand what I'm saying? My book is simple. Let's start from the very beginning. If you want to raise a president, build a model that begins to raise that president from infancy. Don't leave anything to chance. And I'm so happy that one of my friends is here. I'm not going to call her name. There was a time years back, she asked me a question. She said, Diana Mary, you're always talking about children. Picking where go spoil, go spoil. You know, have you heard people say that? Somebody children go spoil, it go spoil. You know, in all the years that I've worked, anytime I have the opportunity, I say it with so much confidence, my children don't go spoil. I say it's not possible. Because as we have learned, all the speakers have come here, they've spoken. Life is in dimensions. I think it is all is mind. Mind is all is the hematic philosophy that everything starts in the mind. Life is in different dimensions. As I grow every day, you don't only teach your children all of this, even spiritually speaking. When we're growing, as mothers, when you're nursing, when the child starts eating food, you masticate with your mouth, you break it down, and you give to the child so the child will eat. It is the same thing with your values, your principles, your vision, your mission. Break everything down. Breaking down goes to as far as or as basic as dressing your bed. I tell my daughter, me and you cannot be arguing about you've not dressed your bed and you bring your result and you do well. A child who has a strong character will shine all round. It's a simple fact. A child who wakes up and knows that I should be prepared, anchor my day, will know when to go. That kind of child, you can't joke. I told my daughters, I tell them, I say, you will not allow joke. People joke with you and laugh. It's not, you know when to stop nonsense in its tracks and have some dignity for yourself. Is it easy in today's society? There are charlatans everywhere. Even to the class teacher in the class is a problem because they don't understand your values. But should we stop? No. Because we have where we are going to. It only gets better with time. There is an audacity for parents of this generation. You need that audacity. I cannot compromise on having irresponsible children. It's not an option. Do you understand? I heard a woman of God say something on a video message. It says, when you are praying, pray for kind children. I say, no, ma, you don't pray for kind children. You teach children kindness. You teach children how to be kind. You teach children the values that you want to see. Not because you're doing it to make them better people, but the highest beneficiary at the end of the day will be you, the parent. It's the truth. Have you not seen children that are not kind to their mothers or their fathers? You want to see what's happening in some homes? You wouldn't like it. That's after all this hustle and bustle in my life. In my old age, when I'm supposed to be relaxing, one child will wake up from somewhere and say, it's not. I think that, and why is this message important? Your children will not function in isolation. The husband that your daughter will marry is in somebody's house, may not be in the house of an irresponsible parent. So after nurturing your child, somebody from somewhere will come and carry the person. That is why this is a crusade for everybody. Are we together? Raising children is a crusade for everybody. Because if that child doesn't marry, you will function in the office place. The boss may be a charlatan. The colleague may be a problem. Are we together? There is a message that every parent needs to sit up. You must be interested in what is happening. And look, your interest and your work will not be rewarded with anyhowness. One of my favorite chapters in the book that I wrote has to do with how to break sabotaging family patterns. There are some families that are plagued with certain idiosyncrasies. It's established, you know. There are so many postulations, and let me not quote. You look at some families, you say, that house, they have a lot of scholars. Then they go school well. You know what I mean? You look at another, they say, they really had things hard, poverty, and them are 5 and 6. They suffer. You look at another side, you say, they are drunks in that house. Yes, am I exaggerating it? You look at another, I say that this is a house of politicians. These ones where they like politics, when once they finish, they go, this house, lawyers. You see all those pictures on social media, all of them lawyers. There is a pattern and a semblance of families. All of us know where we come from. Some families, the girls don't get married. Some is divorce. It's easy. It's family patterns. Some are good, some are sabotaging, some are disadvantageous. And even those of us sitting here know things in our family, in our bloodline. Things that are worrisome and are problematic. Things that we wish we didn't experience. There's no perfection in human endeavor, but we know that these patterns are recurrent. Some families have incestuous relationships. Some of the children are abused by family members. Some families have a lackadaisical attitude. No purpose, no vision. These are disadvantageous family patterns. Now, in my book, there is a part that speaks about the bloodline breakers. It has to start with one person. And the person it should start from can be a parent or the parents. You must write the vision and make it plain. I try to, you know, that is what in Christendom, some people call it deliverance. So some people have been going for deliverance year in, year out. year in, year out. You know, sometimes let us not misdiagnose psychological problems. Some problems are psychological. It's in the mind. It's not, you don't need a pastor to be hitting your head. And you don't need it. Oh, there's a part in my book that speaks about your priest, that you're the priest over your child. Some of you, everybody have put hand on your child's head. You are not declaring and speaking on your child. But you are good to carry your child, spend your transport, and go to the next available person. Pastor, pray for this child. This child has a spirit of stubbornness. You must first know yourself as the priest of the child. Out of everybody in the world, you were the portal to bring the child to this, or you think it is a joke. Even if it was through adoption, you think it was a joke that the child landed in your space? Do you think so? And so we must begin to look at, when you're ready to start having children, you must look at dimensions beyond the fact that you are able to buy SMA gold for the child. It's not about food. The child can be eating and have sawdust in the head. What are you loading the child with? Through the seasons, what kind of results do you want to see? What kind of patterns do you want to see transmitted? There's this boy of 9 years old I follow on TikTok. His name is Mark Alexander. He sews. He's been to some of the biggest runways, and I sat down to read about him. Mark Alexander started sewing at age 6 when he told his mother he wanted to be a designer. And I read and I said, where did this boy get this from? I read somewhere that either his great-grandfather was into dressmaking or something of that sort. You see where the bloodline is important. It says that you owe your children 2 things: roots to grow and wings to fly. Are you with me? So within your bloodline, there is the potential of greatness, and there is the potential of unfortunate situations. So the choice is yours, which you're going to run with. Right? I don't want to explain that too much. It's inside the book. The choice is all yours. But I want you to be sure that if you have children, if you are planning to have children, you must wake up and do the work. Because the first person who will be hit is you, before the rest of us outside here. Before the rest of us outside here. What would make a child go to the mother and say, what should I ask for? So a child that can do the dance of the 7 veils doesn't know what she wants. That she stands before the king and sees a life-changing opportunity and she can't negotiate. Salome was an utter disappointment. And I brought it back home. Gen Z, you are everywhere, but nowhere sometimes. You are excited. Teach your children how to identify opportunities. These conversations are not too big. Let them learn negotiations in the house. One day my son was telling my daughter, if I do it for you, I will eat your meat. They thought I would enter the conversation. I did not enter. He was negotiating. I did as if I did not hear. So, young woman, get up and sort it out. Or you come to a compromise. Okay, let me give you a quarter. I can't give you all of it. It starts in your presence. Sometimes we are so attached to our children that we don't know when to pull back and allow them to go in front. Are we together? We are so attached. Even myself, I have to train myself. I have a daughter who will not sleep if it's not beside me. But she's not my last child. I have to train myself. They have to come to the place of knowing their individuality. But the book is structured in such a way that it's a blueprint. You have no right scolding a child who you did not teach. You did not teach the child. How is the child supposed to know? While I believe that children are raised by communities, you are not, it's irresponsibility to rely solely on the outer world. Children have energy. There's a chapter that talks about the energy alchemy for children. What to do with this energy. What can you do with this energy? Are we together? Please, am I making, are you with me? And for those of us who trust that the school system will help us, you have to rethink it. Nigeria has 2 ways. What do they call it? 6334. That's about 18 years. 18 years is a long time. Oh. So your child will just be wearing clothes and going to school. And I hear on social media, some people will say, all of you that take your children to expensive school. I say, this is poverty speaking. If you can afford a good school for your child, please send your child to a good school. There's a reason why the school fee is more. When you read my book, you will know why. There's a reason. Because in shaping a child, there is what they call the Bloom's taxonomy that helps you, but not completely, to channel your child's energy. While you are still knocking your child, you didn't carry first, second, or third position, ignoring the fact that you have about 9 types of intelligences, the child must come first. My son suffered it. This thing I don't like, give me. Then I maybe come and go. Because if you leave me here, I thought my account number. No. On a serious note, I'm happy that my friends are here. I want the children of my friends to flourish and be high value. I want my friends and their children, like I want yours in the community. Do you know what I mean? I want to know that I can trust a system and a place and a circle with the kind of children that my children will mingle with. Quick fact about me, I don't use swear words. I don't use the F word. It's not that anybody beats me. I look like somebody that uses it morning, afternoon, and night. I know. But I don't. Not because anybody told me. It's my training. Do you understand? It's my training. One day, I mistakenly said it. My daughter said, Jesus, Mommy. And when she did that, I held myself back. I said it was a moment of confusion, right? And I apologized. I said, because you don't used to use it, what happened to you? I said, it's confusion, my daughter. It happens to the best of us. And that simple act has taught me that what you teach your children defines their character. Build your children in character and in learning. When your children step out, wouldn't you love for them to represent you properly? Don't you want that? Don't you like your children to represent your family properly? Represent your local government properly? Represent your state properly? And represent Nigeria properly? That is what it should be. Let us build a community of conscious parents and children. It's a life is a warfare. Life is a warfare. Right? And in this warfare, you have to win. Having children, you will sacrifice. I can't remember when last I go. Immediately I have money, I'm thinking of my children. But I find the time to take care of myself. I hope I look the path. I have my percentages, my divide, my mommy time, my me time. And finally, I want to wrap up. In all of this, the possibilities that those of us who have children, who have nieces, we want to go now. There's something they call pressure, parental pressure. Don't pressure your children. Understand through the stages. Some children are not as fast. Some children are not as sharp. There's something they call the curse of the gifted child. Some children are gifted. And so every time you see them, you're clapping for them. You're too much. You are doing so well. It's good though, but you're destroying that child. I'll tell you why. When a child passes things easily, when you're learning, you're not learning because you just want to pass and impress people. You are learning life skills. You are learning life skills that in your adulthood, you see, talent is not enough. He said it. The gift is not enough. The grind is. You learn discipline in childhood. Now, for example, this child is too intense. This one will just pass. So you never teach the child or allow the child to read because he go just sabi am. Now, reading is not just there's a discipline that comes with reading. A discipline. The ability to sit down and read and process and focus may not be about the book, but there comes a time where you need critical thinking, a discipline to function that your reading ethics and culture will help you. So when you are raising children, it's not in the moment, but it is the character that you are forming to. So a gifted child, most times, you say, this one will just squash her. My daughter was learning board games, so the teacher will say, she's the master of board. I told him, don't ever tell her she's the master of board game. Let her sit down there and play that game to the end. If she's the master in my house, take her to another champion. Let her beat that champion before you come and tell me she's a master. So she won't come and be walking here like peacock. That she played with her 7-year-old sister and defeated her at 10, and you call her master. That's flimsy. But my point is made. Cultivate the discipline to eat your food, my 7-year-old, and clean up after you have eaten. Wake up from your bed and know that you should take a glass of water and bless yourself. I cannot understand how you wake up and you leave your bed undressed. It beats me. And then you come back and say, I wrote my composition. Well, I tell them, they are there. I say, you did not cross some T's, you did not dot some I's. You that woke up and didn't dress bed, have the patience to go and be crossing T and dotting I. It's an anomaly. If you check, the people who were coming good first in class are people that if you see them sometimes, they are neat, they are put together. There is something, it connects. So everything, if you have a child who is tidy at home, be thankful for that child. Even if that child is not coming second or third or fourth, that's inconsequential. Are we together? So it is holistic. When you want to build well-rounded children, it's holistic. So in your spiritual journey, in all of your endeavors, please do well to check and think. The book will give you a template. It's a blueprint. So my question is, what is the blueprint we are handing to the next generation? When my days are gone on earth, will I be happy in my spirit life that my children are doing well for their own children? Would I have been able to institute a culture for well-rounded children who will become high-value individuals? And I rest on this note. Some of the most reputable families in this world have a family culture. But we are just sleeping and waking up. Have you eaten? Yes. Let us go to school. Are you back? Have you done homework? That is the pattern. But I pray that this book blesses you. It's not just about the book. I pray that it works for you and it raises a generation of stars who will be innovators, captains of industries, stars who will make you proud and uphold your family name. That your children will not give you sleepless nights. That every work that you have put in, your children shall blossom, flourish, and they will never see evil. Your children will see evil and detest it from afar. Your children will be wealth-making children. Your children will be placed in society such that there will be pride. In fact, that you are here, I decree unto the universe and to the God that I serve, that your children will be established in high places and they will be a source of pride and joy to you. Thank you very much. On that note, I'd like to most respectfully invite the man who encouraged me to put down this book. I had been having it. Daddy went to the pamper. Gedoni is here. Gedoni is my daughter from another mother. I didn't give birth to her, but she always tells me, I like you, I like you. I used to run away from mentorship. I don't. But Gedoni will always find me. Ladies and gentlemen, Femi Jubal, a fantastic gentleman. Daddy went to the pamper. Action man. Thank you very much, Sir Femi. God bless you. Oh, really?
I'm seeing how you are raising your own children. You don't have the right to, because there is so much incompetence and ignorance on the part of saying that to bring anybody down. You know, she may often say that child will go. Thankful that we have a book. So this book is a creative solution, ensuring that the tools and the resources that you need to them this holistic training that will make them who they are meant to be, because a parent is a tour guide. And if you travel to, let's say, a country like Russia, for instance, right? You have never been there, and you are going to have a tour guide, and you are meant to spend 5 days. Has it happened to you before? You will spend 4 days sleeping in the hotel because you are. 4 days you are like, child, I have only 1 day left. Where can I go? Where can I go? And you are rushing because there is no tour guide. Same thing that happened to a lot of us and is happening to a lot of children. But we are thankful that we have a book like this for child's sake that is going to care. And I know that God has blessed it. And through this book, this is your portal. Is your portal. Greater things. Every success that you have achieved in life, and nothing compared as you are going to achieve by virtue of this book. Because this is a solution. It's a transgenerational solution. It is the cure and the antidote to juvenile delinquencies, to all of these shenanigans you see in society by children who were not brought up properly. It is not just going to help the child, it's going to help the parents. And we are thankful for it. And I also encourage everybody. We have launched this book. Now, we don't need a massive ceremony because it is about the portal, not the product. We have birthed the vision, and the vision would sharpen itself as time goes on. So, thank you so much. Let's have a copy of the book. And everyone, wherever you are, I have my brother all the way from the US, from Georgia, Abdubari, who is here. He's going to take a lot. Yes, you will, brother. Yeah, we have, Tolashe is here. She will also help us with, so through this network, we're going to make sure that we spread each person's products. Dr. Christos is not here, so Chris Lead office is upstage. So Dr. Christos is going to have some books in the office. They sell my books. They're going to have Tolashe's journal. We are building a community. So we have to be fraternal about it. There has to be some fraternity approach to it. Buy only from the people you know. That's how wealth is transferred. Except there is nobody around me in the community who can do search. If there is nobody, I go outside. You are my family member. You are not in the community. And there's something to be done. I'm not giving you. Because it means that you are suffering from familiarity. So go and meet your own people wherever you have them. These are my own people. So we're going to have the book at Chrisley Faculty of Engineering and all over the place. And we're also going to Calabar.
Yes, sir.
Hey! I can't wait to go to Calabar. Benin, we're going to have copies in Benin.
Wow, thank you.
Because we have Chrisley campus in Abuja and in Benin. And of course, I'm going to Lagos, so we're going to have copies in Lagos. So this book is now launched. And this book, this work is going to break boundaries. It's going to move from the north to the south to the east and the west. And it's going to fulfill the purpose for which it has been published. So I want you guys to just look at Dr. Diana Mary and send her, whether in words or in thoughts, the best wishes. This is your first authorship. Wow. So for a book, academic publishing, she has a PhD, right? So this is her first work for a book. So just by words, by thoughts, send her all the positive energies and words. We'll do that for like 2 minutes. And we're going to call on Ajemi Kosi to help us bless the book. some of our, okay, after that we have some guests that came for her. They're also going to help us launch the book. But let's have Ajemi Posi. Pure energy. Bless the book.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want you to say Ashe. 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 Yes. So this book, I'm just going to talk about knowledge. So the definition of knowledge really is you're imparting education. The meaning of education is you're imparting knowledge or you're taking in knowledge. And knowledge doesn't have to just be formal education. It can be informal. It can also be learning skills. But the most important thing is, along with knowledge comes cosmology, which is that a science of people and human development. So you've obeyed the law of nature. You've obeyed cosmology. So there's definitely going to be a share on this. Because a share in the Yoruba cosmology just means, so it is. We don't say, please, amen, no. It's already here. So I share to this book. I share to it in human development. I share to it in imparting knowledge. I share to it in teaching people about knowledge. And in fact, I share to it to human existence. I share.
Thank you so much, Ajemi Kwasi. And thank you. We have her friends here, and we would like to call them up stage to launch the book. The first person is Oduak. Mrs. Oduak Igbeka. Please come forward and just say some positive words as we launch this work of art. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everyone, I have known that I'm married for too many years, since secondary school. How she has evolved, and to be able to share her with the world from when she was a girl to now that she's a mom, we understand how her thoughts have evolved, and we also see, always known that she's full of this greatness with all of you, and share it with all of you today, whether it's people that are physically present. We are here to support you. Carry the environment. And we've got your back. Let me just put it that way.
We have some other friends of hers that are here. They'd like to come up stage to. I'd like to invite all of them at once. Let them just come, and then we can now take a picture with her. Maybe she can come back. Let's take a picture with her. All her friends, all Diana Mary's guests that are here. Please come up stage.